Okay, 4 a.m. Club, we have got to talk about a vision I've had that I am now going to refer to as the threads of fate. I've been talking about this vision a little bit, and you've heard me refer to it as when I saw at beginning of my April preview event, when I saw all these individual threads and they went forward and then wove together as a single rope. Now, when I received this vision, this was at the very end of March. So things were happening, but not happening like they are now. So in the context of that, my initial interpretation was there are all these things that are happening, all these egregious problems caused by the Trump and his administration. And so we don't know which one of these is going to be the one to pop to, be the reason he's removed from office. And that's a fair interpretation. But now things are moving forward and I have received additional information, which is why I am calling this the Threads of Fate vision, the Threads of Fate prophecy. So this vision again popped into my mind the other night and I suddenly understood what all the individual threads are. Where before it was just like, oh, anywhere you shake a stick, he's fucking up and people are pissed. So it could be anything. Just have faith, people. I suddenly saw the very specifically what these individual threads were, so much that I opened my notes app and I wrote them down. So as I was going through this and kind of mulling it over, I suddenly understood the significance of them coming together and braiding together as a rope. And when I say this out loud, I'm like, duh. I'm sure everyone else already got this. I'm late to the party. Nevertheless, what I finally understood is that all of these things are coming together to be the rope that he metaphorically hangs himself with. It is the combination of all of these things together that are what ultimately become his undoing officially. Now, I had a little fun with ChatGPT and I had them render an image because I think it is very helpful to see, at least for me, when spirit gives me visions, I see them clear as day, but maybe it will help you. So here we go. Now, never mind that there are only 5 of them there. I saw many more in my vision. It was more like 10, maybe even more. And to my counting, I've got 8 official big things that are blowing up right now. There may yet be more, or there may be more that I'm unaware of. So let's unpack the ones that I've got so far. The first one, who could forget Signalgate? They want us to forget. They want us to think it's a done deal. But remember, a special investigator at the Pentagon has opened this case, and this is being investigated. I know a lot of people like to complain, but no one's talking about it, but nothing's happening. Investigations take time, and they happen behind the scenes. So that is still in progress. They have not firmly swept it under the rug. It is being investigated by official sources. Number 2, the tariffs. This is huge, potentially the biggest one yet in terms of how it's affecting his base. Small business owners were pissed. We've seen the FAFO. Farmers are pissed. People in the agricultural industry, all kinds of people who import and export. Their livelihoods are threatened. They are furious about this. So not only is this a big deal in terms of the people waking up and having a change of heart, but this is being investigated by the House and by the Senate for both market manipulation and insider trading. And in addition, California Governor Gavin Newsom has just announced that he is officially suing the administration over the tariffs. Number 3, the Aliens Enemies Act, which is the act they tried to use to deport people to the El Salvador prison. Now we know this is what's being talked about the most right now. And there are actually 2 different cases about this. This one in particular is what the Supreme Court is up in arms about. They found probable cause for them to be in contempt, which is still a proceeding in progress. And late last night, Friday night, Saturday morning, they ruled, no, you cannot deport using the Aliens Enemies Act. This is huge. Of course, Republicans are furious. This could be the one with the most heft, the most weight, the most legal authority behind it to get them either removed, impeached. I don't really know what the legal proceedings look like, but this is a big one and it's still in progress. Number 4, which is tied in with this, is the other immigration case happening right now. And this is the one with Kilmar Abrego Garcia at the center of it. And again, this is still moving. The senator, what was his name? Chris Von Hollen was able to go down and meet with him. We have proof of life. They are still working on this. But the administration is still refusing to deport him. And Judge Paula Zinnes, I believe this is in a Baltimore court, a federal court. Regardless, she is pissed. She's pushing back and she is wanting receipts and movement that they are actually going to bring him back home. So as much as the Republicans like to crow about it and say, we don't have to do shit, we're complete within the right, the judges ruled for us, Those are all lies. The judges have ruled against them, are ruling against them, and are riding their asses to do the right thing, to comply with the court's demands. So this is another one with a lot of legal weight behind it that's going to cause a lot of ripple effects, especially the more they lie and refuse to take action for the judge's ruling. The next one is huge, huge. And I have not made a video on it yet, but there are lots of great creators who have talked about this because this is enormous. And this is, of course, a DOGE whistleblower. Now, NPR initially broke this story on All Things Considered. I'll pause and show you a screenshot so you can look that up. And then it was on the Rachel Maddow show, where both this whistleblower and his lawyer were on the show detailing everything. Now, this will continue to spill out because this lawyer is pushing for this. And in addition, the Government Accountability Office is still investigating DOGE. So this is, I believe, just in the infancy stages. It's not yet gaining broad traction, but as the news of this becomes well known, this is going to be big. So this is essentially what happened according to the whistleblower. So remember when DOGE went into the, Labor Relations Union, the Labor Relations Board? What this person who was on the inside and has very high level technical knowledge of these operations, he said they locked everyone official out. Then they went in, left the doors open, essentially, to all this data. And within minutes, someone with an IP address in Russia used an official login to get at, access, download this data. And there was a huge spike showing that massive amounts of data was downloaded. Now they're dancing around saying that this was intentional because they don't have the proof to prove that. It certainly looks as though it is, but at any rate, even if this was an accident, this is massively, massively big. And little whisperings along with this are leading to another major threads of fate that we're all waiting to see people talk about, which is election interference. Because as part of this DOGE whistleblower, they're talking about what Starlink is being used to do, and that the government is, I can't remember which organization, but he said it in the Rachel Maddow. It's in my replay. All of my stuff is in my reshares. That government offices are no longer using Starlink because they know it's not secure. They know this shit is going to Russia through Starlink. What? Now, in my book, the only reason this might not be the big thing to blow up is because right now this is the immigration stuff is with the Supreme Court, and they're pissed and they're ordering against him, ruling against him. So this might be the earliest to pop. But remember, with this vision, it's the combination of everything that becomes the rope. Now, with this news about immigration and removing these migrants to a prison in El Salvador is coming new information that there is, in fact, a government contract. The government is paying El Salvador for this prison, for these people. So as this news is beginning to trickle out, and as it's going to gain more traction, as more is dug up and revealed, and people are more pissed about this, this could be yet another thread in the threads of fate. Now, finally, as I was writing these down, receiving the downloads and the details about how this is all working together, I clairaudiently heard a phrase, very clear as day. And I heard, colluding with foreign adversaries. And I saw and felt this in conjunction with this phrase being used as part of a press conference announcement made by the quote unquote good guys, the good guys who have to announce that Trump has been indicted and or arrested. I heard colluding with foreign adversaries. Now, this is a big one. This is a big one. And I might need to make another video on this because of how big it is. And these are the mere whisperings, the things we know through documentaries that have been produced, the things we know from what's starting to come out here in TikTok, but it's not yet made its way into the mainstream as common knowledge. But this is the big one, guys. This is the big one. And we've been looking at this in the 4 a.m. Club in terms of election interference that's related to Russia, because in fact, that's what we've been tracking. But it's so much bigger than the election. It is so, and I've been saying that. I've been saying that since the beginning, but I haven't yet unpacked exactly what that is. So either I'll do another video on it, or I got to sit with it some more because I received more downloads about that and what it looks like. And it's massively big. I can't. So for the purposes of this video, because I'm long enough, I'll wrap it up and say, We need to stop looking at each individual event as this could be the thing and then getting disappointed if it doesn't seem like it's the thing. Because what Spirit is showing me repeatedly, they keep dropping this image into my mind, just like out of the blue, boom. They'll drop it in again. They want me to know and pay attention and unpack it and share with you that it's all of these things that they're doing that are going to weave together to be the irrefutable evidence, the final straw, whatever metaphor you want to use, the rope they finally hang themselves with. So, marathon, not a sprint, guys. This takes as long as it takes, unfortunately. But as we see each of these individual things heating up and gaining more traction and attention, that's how we know we're getting closer. So hang in there. We're on our way.